Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list and market talk for the 6th of February, and stock watch list for the 7th of February, Thursday. So in the markets today, the SMH was the best sector, up almost 2.5% on the day. Let's go to our nifty little tool here. So we'll look at some of the components real fast of the SMH. So you can see ADI semiconductor, a nice move up today. Looks a little bit stretched there. AMAT, another semiconductor play moving up, but underneath the 200 SMA. Also AMD holding around that 5 EMA, but a pullback from the recent highs. About a 4-stick pullback on AMD. ASML pushing up to the 200 SMA. AVGO, another semiconductor trade, the Broadcom. Nice pop up, but kind of a topping tail here around the 280 mark. We'll look at a few others. Intel, basing below this $51 area. Now we've moved up from about $46 up to about 50 and change. So a little bit of some topping tails going on here in Intel. Clack, nice move up recently, basing under the 110 number, also topping tail on that one. LRCX, which kind of kicked off the semis a few weeks ago with their earnings, actually last week. Topping tail here at 180. As you can see, all these semis have had really nice moves. MCHP had earnings today. They gapped this one up on big volume, got us up over that 90 spot. But again, topping shadow here, topping tail. Marvel has been on a nice run, coming up against the 200 SMA. Micron, a nice move up from the lows here, from about what is that, $28, $29 all the way up to 41, 50 area. So a nice move, maybe due for some consolidation or a small pullback. Nvidia has earnings next week on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. So this one has kind of been the laggard right now since they've lowered their guidance and whatnot. NXPI, this one also topping above the 200 SMA, topping tail shadow here on that one. Qualcomm, this one has lawsuits going on with Apple, so kind of a laggard in the group. SWKS, which reported earnings last night. Big volume came into this. They smacked it up right against the 200 SMA, and pulling back from there. And then we'll look at Xilinx last. This one holding up the best, Xilinx. But once again, we've had that gap up move from about 95 up to about $115. So a little bit of a topping tail there on Xilinx. Lastly, let's look at Texas Instruments. This one breaking above the 200 SMA. So I just wanted to show you some of the components of the semi space. Let's actually look at the semiconductors, the ETF. So this is getting above the 200 SMA now, coming up to about that $102 area on the SMH. We have gotten above this resistance of 100 here. So maybe some consolidation in order now on the SMH. So we'll see. As far as the markets today, we'll take a look at that. For the markets, the Nasdaq was down about 27 points. The Dow was down 21. The S&P was down about 6 points on the day. So the stock market took a breath today. A small down day in the markets. Some of the stocks that did not fare too well were the video gaming stocks. ATVI took a hit today. They report earnings next week on the 12th of February, so you can always look in this yellow box and you can see the next earnings coming up. So ATVI, Blizzard, and EA also gapping down this morning. They had their earnings come out last night, so that one dip buyers showed up on that one, but not a big bounce. Trying to hold that $80 area on Electronic Arts. TTWO, the CEO, was on CNBC, and he did move the stock up a little bit today, but then it fell right back off here on TTWO. Fortnite. The game Fortnite is hurting the video gaming sector. That's all my kids are playing right now, Fortnite. They don't even go on Netflix anymore. They're just playing Fortnite at the moment. Another sector that took a hit today was the MJ sector. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the marijuana sector, cannabis sector, was down 5% for the day. That's your cannabis names. So names like CRON, which we actually caught a short in CRON. We shorted that on the break of 2055 for CRON for the short, and very nice trade. Moved down almost a dollar on that trade on the short of CRON. But other names that paused today: CGC, APHA also moving down today. NBEV moved down also today. So the marijuana sector pulling back to about the 10 SMA. So we have about a 2-stick pullback. Notice I showed you the semi-stocks with that topping tail, and you see that topping tail, the shadow on the MJ, and then you got a few days down here of not a big push down, but coming down to the 10 SMA. So just be aware of that on the SMH also. Now the topping tail here is not as prominent as it was on the MJ, so we'll see what transpires with the SMH. Some other activity today in the markets. We'll take a look at oil real fast. Oil hanging below that $55 a barrel level. So, I don't make 55. I'm not telling you it's important just because, but this $56 a barrel level has been a tough spot for light sweet crude oil. So we got up to that area. We pulled back. We still are holding around the 5 and the 10 SMA on oil. If we look at the ETF for oil, we had this pop. We've pulled back. We're holding around the 10 SMA. So it's not, all doom and gloom. Kind of a cup with a handle here on the USO. There's your cup. And then if you look here, you have the handle. So if it can get back over that 1150 area for oil and the USO ETF. Once again, a very small candle on the SPY here as we get closer to that 200 SMA, almost like a doji type of candle, indecisive candle. Again, we had one here, we have one here. You notice volume is still trailing to the lower end here, 58 million shares for the volume in the SPY today. So a light volume day, but we were able to find some trades. One trade that we did find was on letter I, Intelsat, and we caught this one at 25.60, over 25.60, and it moved up to $27. The reason we caught that one, and I'll show you that right now. So this is my news service that I use, and they put unusual options activity as it occurs in their news box here. Also, they give us audio news in my service, Zozo StockWatch. So here's letter I, June 29th call activity, a large block there on the offer, expired June 21st, and that's what put it on my radar. We called it over the microphone, and we got a really nice trade in letter I, Intelsat, and I'll also show you the entry that we made in the service and called over the microphone. So letter I right here, Zozo StockWatch, letter I. All right, and so people didn't get confused, I put a capital I and a small I over 25.60, and that was alerted on the mic and in the room, and for a nice push up. We also traded WDC over 48.10. Some folks got this MCHP, which had earnings today, over that 88.35 spot. Some folks were trading Capri over 48.50 today, so that made a nice move up intraday. There was the Chrono CRON break short of 2055 on that one. We got a late day trade in WATT today, so we took that one for a gainer as an afternoon trade. So overall, a good day in the room. Let's go ahead and go through some of the news that came out after hours tonight. There were some earnings that came out and some offerings and things like that. So we'll go through that right now. All right, so we had Zoom's had some news after the bell. They reported their January 2019 sales results, ZUMZ. So that stock not reacting much in the after hours. CSX, the railroad, they're upping their quarterly dividend. iRobot had earnings per share and revenue beat. They also raised their guidance, so I guess they're selling a lot of those Roomba robot vacuums. So this one popped up nicely in the after hours on that earnings report and guidance raise. Not seeing a lot of guidance raises out there after earnings. So that was why that one moved up. NEWR had some news. That one popped up in the after hours. Let's see, strategy with acquisition. So NWER, New Relic advances that strategy. Possible takeover. FireEye, earnings per share and revenue beat on FEYE, but that stock moving down in the after hours on FireEye. Another stock that had earnings after the bell. Let's see, we had FTNT also reported earnings. FTNT, that's also in the hack security. Cybersecurity ETF. They popped that one up. FTNT earnings per share and revenue beat for FTNT. NTA earnings per share revenue miss. CMG, they beat on earnings, beat on revenue. Let's see, and their comp sales were up 6.1% for CMG. That stock having a very nice after hours move on CMG, and there's some notes here. You could read that to yourself. Has approved an investment for an additional 100 million exclusive commissions to repurchase shares of their common stock. So I'll just read that out loud to you. Other than that, let's see, Costco wholesale January sales results up 5.2%. Prudential earnings per share miss on PRU. That stock moving down in the after hours. ELY, Callaway Golf, moving down in the after hours. Earnings per share in line and a revenue beat. Let's see, was there any other stuff that was standing out to me? LCI, earnings per share, revenue beat, guidance raise, all right, on LCI, a lower priced name. So this stock moving up in the after hours on that. Twitter is moving up in the after hours. TWTR, they report earnings tomorrow morning before the bell on Twitter. So somebody getting a head start in the after hours here, pushing it up. IOVA initiated with an outperform at Baird, $29 price target. CBMG initiated with an outperform at Baird, $26 price target on that one. Let's keep scrolling along here. Let's see, we had some insider purchases that showed up here. So we have Dish, AGYS, ZBH has a few insider purchases. So you can pause the video and check those out for yourself. VXRT doing an offering. So that news coming out. VXRT, that stock not showing much indication here in the after hours. CTRV also doing a mixed security shelf, so an offering there. CTRV, that stock moving down a little bit in the after hours. This news courtesy of the Trade Exchange. All right, let's go ahead and get into the watch list for tomorrow. So ADXS was moving up today. So I'll have this one on watch, 2.9 million shares. It's an under 50-cent name, but it is above the 50 SMA. If you like these under 50-cent names, keep an eye on this one. Nice volume coming into that one. APDN, another name under 75 cents, trying to get up over the 50 SMA. So I try to mix it up for everybody that views my channel. So I'm giving you a few under $1 names today. 2 million shares came into this one, APDN. So they popped it up. So keep an eye on that one for tomorrow. APPS, nice move up here. 3.1 million shares on APS. Nice move up. It's had a nice run. It's coming out of this consolidation here. Has that 250 number up ahead. Let's take a look at this one on the weekly. We have a high back here on the weekly, 259. So if you can get up over that 250, 259 area on APPS, you could get a nice follow through on that one. Keep your eye on it. ATVI, watching this one for a possible bounce. All these names, watching them for possible bounces. TTWO. I hope they move down on the open tomorrow. Then we'll see if we can get a turn play in those. Electronic Arts, also looking for this one for a possible move down, and then maybe a turn later in the morning on Electronic Arts, ATVI, and TTO. Another name I'm watching for tomorrow is AXON. Sorry for all the lines. So AXON had nice expanding volume here, moving up. The high here on this name was $1.37. So maybe over that $1.40. Maybe they want to push this up to $1.50 or so. Keep your eye on it. BCLI, excuse me, Brainstorm, Sell. Volume was 138,000, but a nice looking candle here. No guarantees, on this one, right? So the high on this was 385. So maybe over that 390 area, maybe we'll get a push up to 4. BCLI was active today and a nice candle there. BDR, I didn't see any news on this one, not that I'm aware of. Has that $1.50 number up ahead, was up in the after hours. Communications and equipment sector, BDR. So I'll have this on watch tomorrow, but I'm not sure what's going on there. CETX, another name under $1. Nice pop here. 1.1 million shares came into this name. So CETX, possible $1 break on that one. Cliff, this one has earnings coming up on Friday. Nice push up, 17.3 million shares. Breaking out, we talked about this one in previous videos, breaking out of this flag here. So that'll be on watch for tomorrow. CLVS. This one basing currently, maybe if it gets up over that 2660, 2675 area for this one. So I'll put 2670 or so as my line indicator here. You see it's kind of been basing here, right? It's kind of coiled up. So if we can get up over that 2670, maybe we get that break of 2675 on CLVS. CPRI, they had earnings today. We actually got a trade in this one. So I'll watch it again. Nice expanding volume, 8.6. I think Kramer came out on his 6 o'clock show, was making positive comments on this one also. So I'll have it on watch again tomorrow. I saw dry ships getting a little bit of buying now. It's come down to support here, this $5 area. They're kind of bouncing it off of there. I'm not in love with this one, but if they want to get the shippers going, you have this range here. It's holding the bottom of the range, so keep an eye on it. Fitbit, FIT, holding up very nice, has this 650 area. You have this cup here, handle, starting to push back up here on Fitbit, FIT. Keep an eye on that one. Let's see, IMGN popped up. IMGN, 4.2 million shares on this one. The high today was $5.55. We have a high back here of 569. So maybe over that 560 area, we get a continuation move in IMGN. LCI, they had a good earnings report, good guidance. So this one will be on watch. They did finally, in after hours, they got it above the 200 SMA on LCI. So keep an eye on that. mRNA, a nice pop. We actually played this one in the room over 1810 for a little move up. So maybe I'll have it on watch again tomorrow on mRNA. MTCH, now match, right? It had gone down this afternoon, but then in the after hours they're moving this one up. So this could be an earnings play. Maybe a lot of shorts caught in this name on MTCH. Now it's a bit extended, so we'll see if it can set up for me. MXIM, this one is basing under the 200 SMA. We had a high back here of 56.69. We had a high today of about 56.65. So maybe if this can get up over 56.75, we might get a continuation move. Semiconductor name, Neo. This one had call activity in it with I think it was April 10 call activity in Neo. Now I was in this one and then it came back at me, so I got back out. I wish I would have held it. So I ended up taking a 4-cent loss on Neo today, but it did climb up to 860. So my timing was a little bit off on that one, but only a 4-cent loss. So I'll be watching Neo for a possible setup tomorrow. Overstock, right? I'm sure a lot of folks will be watching this one tomorrow. Maybe over this 2065 area for overstock. Nice volume came into that name. It's been basing here, so keep an eye on that one. PTX, another one of these under $1 names. 2.2 million shares came into that one. Thought it was going to break the dollar this afternoon, but it didn't. So maybe if they can get it back over a dollar, might be interesting. Watt, WATT, will be on watch. We got a trade in this one over the $8 area. It moved up a little bit. We'll see if it can clear $8 again. Volume still a little bit light though on that one. WFT. Some folks are in this one already, looking for this one. You had this pullback, but we are holding my yellow dotted line here, the 5 EMA. It's trying to maybe get up over that $1 spot on WFT. Going to need some help from oil, though, right? If oil moves up, maybe this WFT will get going. I'll leave you with this. Some earnings coming out tomorrow before the open. Twitter, Grubhub will be reporting. Yum Brands reporting. Cardinal Health, Dunkin' Donuts reporting before the bell tomorrow. Then after hours, some of the bigger names. Skechers will be reporting. And on Friday, you have Cliffs coming out with earnings. Coty, COTY. Phillips 66, that's a refiner. So there's some of your earnings coming out before the bell tomorrow and for the remainder of the week. All right, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. If you'd like to try my service, it's $30 for 30 days. The link is in the description code down in the bottom. We'd love to have you in the room. You can come into a very professional room, and hope you have a good day trading tomorrow. Once again, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com.